my name is stelllajo, and a couple weeks ago I went to Twitchcon San Diego. I also have not vlogged from this position since college, which was almost 10 years ago. I know I'm a little late to the party on like Twitchcon recaps. I did post a couple photos and a couple videos over on my Instagram and TikTok, so you can go and watch those fun experiences that were probably a little bit more timely than this video, considering the con was over 2 weeks ago at this point. But I thought it would be fun to still recap my experience and tell you guys all the fun things I did and how I felt about the con. I know there was a lot of criticism going on both during and after the con, and I do want to talk about some of that, but I figured I'll let you know how it went for me, which was, spoiler alert, pretty great. I have not been to a con since VidCon 2013, which was I think the 4th ever VidCon. So it's been a while for me, and I have not been to a con as, you know, a fully grown person. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I was really excited anyway. I had a bunch of friends who I had never met before that were going, and I was really excited to meet them and explore the artist alley and all that fun stuff. So here's how my TwitchCon went. So the cheapest flights I could get were like really late at night, and because as of recording this the government is still shut down, I was delayed a little bit. I was delayed by about an hour, so I got in around 1 a.m. Pacific time. But my roommates picked me up. We went to bed pretty much immediately and then got up the next day early in time for badge pickup. We were expecting a really long line, but didn't really had to wait at all to get our badges, which was really awesome. Here's what my badge looks like now by the end of the con, but it didn't have all of these things on it at the beginning. Hi, do you want to be in the vlog? I loved decorating this thing. I am a maximalist, so I had a great time collecting pins and collecting ribbons and things like that. So once I was actually inside the convention, I met up with my friends Grace and Mel, who are some of my friends who also play Stardew Valley, and we basically did a once-over of the expo hall and then went upstairs and did a once-over of the artist alley. We wanted to do artist alley early just in case we saw things and then those things were sold out pretty quickly. I didn't actually end up buying that much stuff from Artist Alley, and not even on day one, but I will do a full haul of all of my things after the whole recap. After that we got lunch, which was the worst piece of pizza I've had in my life, and it was like $17. A crime, actually. And after that, we went to an indie games meetup. All throughout the weekend, there were these community meetups, whether it was like location-based or identity-based, or just like we all play horror games, or we all play games made by Riot, or things like that. So the one that I went to was the indie games one, which is where Stardew Valley fits in. If you don't know, I'm part of a group called Stardew Valley Collaborative, which has put on many fun Stardew Valley events, including a perfection-a-thon, a friendship-a-thon, all types of speedrunning events, and it's just a really great group that I've gotten to know. And then after that, I met up with my friend Tempe, who, if you don't know, is a friend of mine from summer camp. We've literally known each other since we were 8 years old, and a couple of years ago, she messaged me asking about streaming and started streaming and is now a Twitch partner, and so we got to hang out over at the American Heart Association booth for a little bit, and then we made our way to the drag showcase. Do you see her in the corner there? I'm gonna let her out. I love drag queens so bad. This show was awesome. It was hosted by Pearl Tease and Trixie Mattel of Trixie Mattel fame, and she wore a Sims plumb bob the whole time. It was awesome. And once that show was over, it was kind of the end of the con day. I was feeling really exhausted and way too dehydrated, so we went back to the hotel for a little bit before I went out to dinner with some friends, and we went to this piano bar. It was like this dueling piano bar with two pianists facing each other, playing two different pianos and just going back and forth, playing songs. We requested Pink Pony Club, because of course we did. On day 2, we got up early and we walked around the expo hall a little bit more. We noticed that it was a pretty short line over at the Sims booth, which was not the case for like the entirety of day 1, so we figured we might as well stop by. There was a cute little scavenger hunt that you could do there, and day 2 was actually the only day that my friend Apple, who was also staying in our hotel room with us, was actually going to the con. It was also her first year as Twitch partner, so we were really excited for her.
That's my Twitch partner!
And And so I spent some time with her. We went to a panel about branding before heading over to the Pride Unity Guild meetup, which was a little overwhelming. There were a lot of people in there, but it was really, really fun. The Unity Lounge was one of my favorite rooms at the whole convention. It was really big. They had this really cool step and repeat, and it was really fun to see everyone from the Pride Guild there. And then after that meetup, I ended up going to a panel all about streaming as a woman or marginalized gender, and it was really, really awesome. I had some friends who were on the panel, and so it was really, really great to hear them talk all about, you know, the struggles of being a girl gamer, as we say. And then in the afternoon, I kind of kept things pretty chill. I wandered into the GDQ theater for a little while, where there was a Breath of the Wild speedrun happening. GDQ is really, really fun. I used to watch SGDQ and AGDQ kind of religiously with my real life friends back in like high school and college, and now I know people who have been on the GDQ stage, and so getting to see some runs live was so awesome. And after that, we painted some minis, which was really, really fun. There was this huge tabletop section that was doing like D&D games and Magic games and like Pokemon TCG all weekend, and then there was also the ability to paint some minis. So we painted some little robot guys. That night was the block party, where in the Gaslamp district a bunch of blocks were totally just blocked off for TwitchCon attendees. I did not go. We had a super chill night. We actually ate at the restaurant that was in our hotel, and we just went to bed early because one, we were super, super tired, and two, the block party was quite expensive. Maybe I'll end up going next year if the price tag is a little better, but I don't really feel bad for missing it. In the morning, I got some coffee and I played this very, very silly D&D inspired game where we were basically on these little tiles on the floor, and everybody had like 2 hit points, and you just had to like roll a d20, and if you rolled above a 12 or something, you could hit the person in front of you, and there were all of these like question mark spaces on the floor, and you could get certain items. I did roll a nat 20 initiative. It was very, very fun. I also won some dice and some minis, which I will show you from that, which was really cool. And then after that, we headed back up to the Guild Lounge because on Sunday it was the Twitch Women's Guild meetup. For backstory, the Unity Lounge was supposed to be this like open to everybody, chiller space where you could just go and hang out. And unfortunately, right before the Women's Guild meetup, there was a private event happening in that space, which was kind of strange. It was like this crafting event, and so they allowed everybody coming to the meetup to participate in the crafts, which was nice, but it did kind of like cut the room in half. But being in the Women's Guild is easily my favorite thing about streaming on Twitch, and I was so, so excited to meet everybody there and for everybody to sign my yearbook. This is the Women's Guild yearbook. I was on the yearbook committee, and it's full of fun stickers that I collected throughout the weekend. So anytime anybody gave me a sticker, it went in here. And all throughout the weekend, I was having people sign it. I have so many cutie signatures from everybody. It was really, really, again, overwhelming just because there were so many people there. Look at this group photo. That's so many people. But it was really awesome to just be surrounded by folks that are so like-minded about streaming on Twitch. After the meetup, I caught the tail end of the Minecraft Championship Live happening on the Twitch Rivals stage. I used to be an avid MCC watcher back in the lockdown days. I've since sort of fallen off of it just because I'm usually busy when they happen on the weekends, but watching the tail end of this in person was so, so cool, especially that final dodgeball. The crowd was insane during dodgeball. It was nuts. And that was kind of the end. We did like one last loop around the expo hall. I talked to some brands for a little bit, and then we actually just headed out and went to go play mini golf with our friends. And then I wasn't leaving until a red eye on Monday night. So on Monday morning, a bunch of us went and got brunch by the beach, and we went over to Balboa Park, which is this huge park space in San Diego that has some botanical gardens and museums, like art museums and science museums. And there's a whole Comic-Con museum, which we didn't have a chance to go into. But next year, I definitely want to go to that because, oh my God, could you imagine all of the like archival cosplays that are there? So cool. We ended up going to the botanical garden. It was the Japanese friendship garden. So there were all these lovely koi ponds and trails and this really cute gift shop, and then just ended up sitting in the park for a little while before we had to head out to the airport, and I took a red-eye home and I made it back to New York City. So that was the con. I would now love to show you all of the things I got, which is, honestly, I did pretty good. I set a rule for myself that I didn't want to take just a bunch of random corporate bullshit home with me. And I think I succeeded on that. Firstly though, I would love to give you a little close-up of my badge and all the pins I got. So on the badge itself, I got a couple of guild stickers and these guild banners. And then also these were 2 sections of the con, the creator camp and the community meetup section. And then this one I got from Artist Alley, which says, achievement unlocked, I supported the artists at Twitchcon Artist Alley. And then here are all the pins. This one is a 999 pin, which is from my friend Algo, also known as the algorithm on the internet, who is doing a challenge of trying to collect 999 of every stackable item in Stardew Valley. He has these cool little pins. I also have a gritty goose and this gummy bear and the glitch heart, which there's a short on my channel if you want to find it, of me getting those pins. This one is one of my friend Lee's emotes, also known as a 20-something loser. And then I have some that were just free from the expo hall. So I have a pronoun pin and one that says LGBTQIA+ and streamer and Twitch Unity Guild member. And then I have this one that says Twith, and this one from the GDQ theater of their clapping emote. Okay, let's get into the bag. The sun's about to go down. It's like 4:30 and the sun's about to go down. So this is the bag that everybody got. It's a pretty nice size. It's like, I think smaller than an average tote bag, but it says Twitchcon 10 on it. They had a whole area where you could put patches on it, but I didn't end up doing that. I'm gonna dump everything out and we'll see how it goes. Okay, first things that fell out were the Sims merch. At the Sims booth, they had this scavenger hunt, and the more things you did on the scavenger hunt, the more merch you got. So I ended up getting 3 pieces of merch. I actually only came home with 2 of them. I got this big tote bag that says The Sims on it, and it says on the back, Sim it and see. I'm probably gonna end up using this as a beach tote bag. It just has that vibe. And I also got a pair of black socks that again says Sim it and see with the little plumb bob. And then I actually also got the hat that they were giving out, but I was never gonna wear that hat, so I gave it to a friend. At the drag showcase, Trixie was giving out some Trixie Cosmetics stuff, so I got these 2 play pigments. I got the yellow and the pink one. I ended up with a few more pins. We stopped by the Game On to End Lupus booth, so they were giving out these little dragon pins that say lupus.org/Game On to End Lupus, which I helped fundraise for. This cutie little PC tower from the Fractal booth. These were the dice. They have little penguins inside them, and they're actually really, really nice. And then this was the mini. This is the Ledev Guardian. I think it's from the Ravnica set. She's pretty awesome. She's on like a giant wolf. Also from the Unity Guild Lounge, they were handing out these Twitch Unity Guild branded little desk planners, which I might use this. I might actually bring it to work and use it there. And then also these little packing cubes, and it says Twitch Women's Guild on it. Oh, I just found more Sim stuff. I forgot about these. I also got these little stickers. This one that says, you've captured my soul, and it's the Grim Reaper. And this one that says, don't feed the birds. And then there's also this patch that says, kayaking with jellies. I'll be so real, I do not play The Sims enough to get these references, but they're cute. I like them. I also picked up just a ton of business cards from folks, and they're all super, super cute. I need to figure out a way to display these or keep them in a cool setup. And then every year I didn't know this, but there is a partner gift and there's an affiliate gift, and the Twitch affiliate gift were these little patches. So this one that says Twitch affiliate, and this little glitch heart, which is one of the global emotes. And then I also picked up the glitch logo. I also got this little mini Minecraft Lego set. They were handing these out as people were leaving Minecraft Championship, so it's cute. It's like Alex and a skeleton in a little lush cave. And then I did really good at Artist Alley. There were so many things that I wanted, namely like there were these designer keyboards that I really, really wanted, but knew that I would not be able to ship home. I didn't spend a bajillion dollars, which is, you know, saying something. The first thing I got at Artist Alley was from an artist named Molly Nemecek. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. They go by Jackface on TikTok and Twitch and Instagram. I'll put their handles right here. But I got 3 little prints from them. I got this Hades print of Zagreus and Thanatos. It's so beautiful. No spoilers for Hades 2. I have not played it yet. And I got this Baldur's Gate one of everybody. The whole party's here, even Mazora and the Owlbear and Scratch. It's so cute. And then Molly had the one piece of Stardew Valley fan art that I saw in the entire artist alley, so obviously I got it. It's of all the bachelors and bachelorettes just hanging out together. It's very sweet. And then I got some stickers. I got 5 stickers from Pikalin Studios, which was this really, really cute artist. They had a ton of different cool stuff. I got this one that says, "I got that dog in me, $1.50. And this really adorable over the garden wall one. And then I got 3 Animal Crossing ones. So this one of Timmy and Tommy, and then this one of Nico, and a little Daisy May. So cute. And then also, because I bought 5 stickers, they gave me a little badge banner. This one says, "I'm not artificial intelligence, I'm genuine stupidity." And I actually saved this because I am planning on putting it on my badge for PAX Unplugged. Oh my god, here's my pitch for saying hi to me at PAX Unplugged. If you were going to PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, I will also be there in a media capacity. So if you see me, feel free to come say hi. I'd love to meet you. That is basically everything I got. Everything else is like a branded lanyard or like another little plasticky button or, you know, other business cards. So there you have it. That's my TwitchCon haul. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I know that there has been a lot of really valid criticism surrounding the con. What happened to Emaru at her meet and greet is absolutely disgusting, absolutely vile, should never have happened. And the response right after the fact from Twitch CEO Dan Clancy was really terrible. So I would agree that there are definitely some safety concerns that need to be addressed. I will say, just from personal experience, I always had to scan my wristband in. My bag was checked every single time I re-entered the convention center, but I know that one experience does not a con make, so 2 things can be true. The other little criticism, which I know the platform is addressing because they put out a statement after the con was over about it, is just the sheer amount of IRL streaming that happened at the convention. I know that partners were given the opportunity to sign up for a slot to get an IRL streaming backpack and go live for like, I think just an hour and a half or 2 hours or something. There were so many more IRL streamers than that it honestly felt like a vast majority of people there were not there to connect IRL and instead were there to IRL stream the event. Obviously, a big part of going to a convention is socializing, so after I came back, I know I experienced a really big con crash where I was just like hermiting and needing to be by myself and not wanting to interact with anybody, but I felt like the IRL streaming just exacerbated that feeling a lot more because it felt like I was just always on camera. And I did see after the fact that there were a bunch of streamers who might not even have been Twitch streamers and were just outside the con rage baiting folks and trying to farm clips. But that all being said, I personally had a great time. It didn't dissuade me from wanting to go to TwitchCon again because I had such a great time hanging out and meeting my friends who I had never met before in real life and getting to talk to them about content and streaming and getting people to sign my yearbook and collecting pins and things like that. So I think there were things that really outweighed all of the cons for me about going to TwitchCon. Like I said, I'll be at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia in a couple of weeks, so if you are also going to PAX, please come say hi. I'd love to see you and hang out with you. If you enjoyed this kind of vlog content, please let me know. I'm down to do more. I'm a big yapper and have many things to say. And in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. What is your favorite convention that you've ever been to? And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!